Hi, folks. This is your MWIS fleeting view for the week ahead. Tuesday starts with some patchy cloud and just a few little spots of light rain on the west coasts of Scotland and Wales, primarily in southern areas, possibly up to Skye as well. Other areas essentially dry, some patchy cloud on the higher terrain. In the east, particularly the Pennines and eastern Scotland, pretty much clear, a few little patches of cloud here and there, but as we get into the day, most of that cloud is going to clear for a clear day across most of the spine of the country and eastern areas. Some patchy cloud may linger in western areas on top of high terrain, particularly the western parts of Scotland, maybe western Wales near Cardigan Bay as well, but not much at all and really substantially dry. Mild temperatures for most and actually probably quite warm down the spine of the Pennines, particularly where sheltered from wind. A blustery day in western areas, speeds may reach up to 30 miles an hour in many places, particularly the high tops of western Scotland and Wales. As we get into the evening, notice those isobars tending to tighten, and that's going to increase the winds on the high tops with a risk of gales over those highest tops. Those winds are likely to stay strong overnight and into Wednesday morning as some weather features do start to slip in from the west and make themselves known. Expect patchy rain to begin encroaching on southern and western slopes of Wales and Scotland. England still fairly dry into Wednesday morning, but cloud leading ahead of these fronts is going to be encroaching, and only just a few little bits of sunshine will be around in the morning in those eastern areas, particularly northeast Scotland, maybe eastern Pennines, but cloud will soon reach most areas as Wednesday morning gets going. As far as cloud on the hills goes, western Wales, western Scotland, mostly cloudy on the hills above those middle to higher slopes. Eastern areas may see those breaks to tops early, especially down the Pennines with the lower tops, but as the day goes, these increasingly shrouded as well. Of course, rain starting to set in western Scotland. Patchy rain through the morning begins to set in more heavily, as well as western Wales, tending to be more showery for a time across Lakeland, eastern Scotland, and in fact, maybe quite dry northeastern areas of Scotland and across the Pennines for a time. But those showery spells increasing as the day goes and maintaining into night as well as a frontal feature moves through. And this could bring some very heavy spells of rain after dark and overnight. Winds will shift westerly and remaining fairly strong into the evening. There may be some clear spells, clear sky spells, and some patches lifting off summits as the front passes, but don't expect extended clear spells overnight. Behind this front, cooler air is passing through, and it's going to feel quite cool in most areas, maybe more mild in central areas around England and Wales. However, in the breeze, it's going to still feel quite chilly, especially on those exposed tops. Frontal features will be less organized on this day. Western coasts, along really most areas, are going to often be in cloud, only occasionally breaking to the higher slopes. Few coastal tops are going to be clear, but the far north of Scotland and eastern areas, that's where the cloud will be well broken and some tops clear for a time, though that is likely to deteriorate as well. Showery from the west most of the day on those high western tops, increasingly shifting inland, sometimes merging into broader areas of rain, and there may be some heavy bursts, particularly on the coasts, but they may drift inland as well. Wouldn't be surprising if there was indeed some hail or thunder inland as well. Tending to break up later in the day as the sun goes down, but still those western areas substantially wet much of the day, likely in cloud, and cloud filling in central areas as the day goes. A very quick look at the weekend tells us that these westerly winds will continue to prevail with these mild or cool temperatures. Often rainy and cloudy in those western areas, some breaks in the east, though during the day, especially in the afternoons, some of those showers will tend to bubble up and drift inland. Especially leading into the later part of the weekend, first indications of a low pressure zone starting to push through from the west, and this making almost all areas unsettled. But of course, this far out, we will have to return to that at a later time. Changeable conditions in the near term, but as always, you can find the details on our website, mwis.org.uk, or our socials. Talk to you again real soon.